You're on, sir.
We have a vote from the guests and public comments. I assume, Robert, that you have some comments to make since you're the only public on, I think?
Yeah, sure. I just, in years past, we always try to save water over to get started the next year. And I don't know if there's something to do with the lake level when we can, or how much we lose, or what. And when you try to educate yourself on the stuff, it seems like I'm at a loss. I don't know whether I'm the only person in the district or around the area that doesn't understand how everything works. How one year we have to legally have 4 inches deep, and we pretty well know that's going to drain away. The worst part is, unfortunately, I got that long gone on the end. I know how much is going by. I don't know if
It's the one for the...
maybe this is one error or...
We're getting a feedback from your phone. Are you on the speakerphone? And I can't understand you hardly at all, Robert. I'm sorry, but I didn't get much of what you said, and then we're getting a feedback.
Okay, Robert, and the way the carryover works is that any water that we conserve, we carry over for the following year. And on some years, the year before last, we carried over 235,000. That was due because we started the season late because there wasn't enough runoff coming down. Last year, we only carried over 95,000, and yesterday Al gave us a report that the Bureau had calculated it's 105,000 that we're carrying over. But it's on what we conserve and what we can carry over for the following year. So it changes from year to year.
The way that all worked before, Robert, I don't know whether you were around, but before, we always never used our total allotment that was provided by the Bureau and all, and whatever left in the dam, well, the Elephant Butte guys got 57% of that, and we got 43%. The operating agreement changed all that. So if because they don't meter, they just use whatever and always run out of water. We always conserve. We built cement canals. We metered our water. We tried to be very efficient, and we'd always end up with some left over from the allotment from the Bureau. Okay, but what happened was they'd get 53% of it. So the operating agreement made it possible that whatever we saved in this year's allotment or whatever last year's allotment now could be carried over like a bank account. It's something that we save, so we get to use it and we don't have to share it with them. But that's how that works. Okay. Robert. Well, we're always glad to educate you. I heard that last part, but we can absolutely hear nothing but muddled. So let's do that sometime over a cup of coffee or something. We'll talk about it. I'll be glad to explain it to you. All right. Okay, sorry, we just can't hear you. I guess that's all of them.
I know that the Border Patrol is supposed to be on. I don't know if he is.
Oh, are they going to be here and just talk? Oh, they're on?
No, I think he just wanted to listen in.
Oh. Is there somebody else?
Two people got
on.
on.
You have Rosie Montes from International Boundary.
Rosie Montes from International Boundary Water Commission.
Welcome, Rosie. We can barely hear you too. Maybe it's our speaker. I don't know, but everything's terrible. But did you have any comments to make this morning?
Okay. Mr. Stubbs, we have Mr. Bowen and Mr. Bowen and Mr. Spear can't get in.
Okay. Rosie, did you have any comments to make or any questions that you wanted to ask?
no, that is the point, thank you.
Okay, well, let's move along.
Lisa just said Mr. Spear and Mr. Bowen cannot get in.
Yeah, they're trying to call in there, and it's the number on the agenda.
Everybody else got in?
Well, I don't know, we're going into closed session anyway. The next thing on, item on the agenda requires a closed session. So it's the reappointment of the general manager and reappointment of the chief financial officer. So we'll go into closed session at 9:07 in the morning, and we can stand here if the rest of you guys will leave, and we'll do our deal.
Hey,
What?
I guess for whatever reasons we had it scheduled to have with the Zoom meetings, so because of the nature of this meeting, of this closed session, we have to exit. I'm going to terminate the Zoom meeting, and you guys need to give me a time that you want to reconvene.
Yeah, unless you want to do it all together when we do the closed.
Well, we could do it then. You want to do it later and then go into closed session? I can't understand you either, Al. Maybe it's my ear.
No, he does sound kind of,
It's difficult. There's an echo.
there's an echo with you, Dr. Blair?
Okay?
Mr. Stubbs is just gonna wait till they go into close later.
We'll change that and go into closed session later whenever we need to talk about other things. Okay.
Is it going through the speakers?
No, it's,
But
well, yeah, it's going through the speaker, but it's his end.
how are we gonna go on with business if we don't know whether Chewy and Mary are still on board?
Uh-oh, that's true.
We can be on till they go into close right now.
They're donating their time.
Okay.
You may not want to be here.
Let me know too, because we have lunch plans.
I'm still going here, I'm having trouble getting through, so,
Well, okay, thanks for joining us. You haven't missed anything. We're trying, all of our technical deals are not working very good this morning, but we're gonna go on now, I think, so. Okay, let's go to item number 5.
we're also, we're making good time, I hope.
Well, yeah, we haven't done anything yet. Okay. Minutes of the November 18th and November 25th meeting. And I noticed the difference, and Mary handed out a change for the one for November 25th.
Sharon did.
That was something that I had marked in mine.
Me too.
Okay, on the very first meeting, just a little nitpicking stuff, I keep seeing these daggum typos or something. On page 2, under 5, and after the bold letters get down, after a motion by Art Ivy, seconded by George Brooks, the other put on left the room. And then we have a unanimous vote of the board. So shouldn't we say a 4-1 with 1 abstention or
Unanimous
or something like that, Sharon? Look on page 2.
Yeah, but did he abstain?
I don't know, did you abstain from that?
No.
Miguel, do you remember?
I'm trying to figure out. Right here. Where?
Right, the very first minutes,
Right here. Okay.
Part 2.
under 5,
He did.
I did walk out, but I don't think it was.
No, he didn't abstain on this part.
oh, he did, so he was back, he came back.
I came back just in time to vote.
Okay, all right.
Well, then it needs to be said there, because it says, it leaves the impression that you were not in the room.
Okay.
So, I'm sure, just take out, left the room.
Yeah, why don't we take that whole thing out, if that's all right?
Just take out, left the room, because he was here to vote, so that's all.
Okay.
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 Any other corrections or additions?
Well, then the same thing on the next page. I was gonna say, maybe the prospect.
I was trying to finish the damn hotel, that's what I was trying, everybody's calling me about that time.
Under certified tax roll, at the middle of the page, the exact same thing, just,
Yeah, I'll take it out.
okay. Okay, that was all my nitpicking on that.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes
Move to approve.
of November, it was
November the,
25th,
Yes, November 25th.
November 18th and the 25th?
This one's November 18th.
18th.
The 18th, excuse me, the corrections we just made were in the 18th. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections as stated.
So moved, yes.
Or makes a motion, there a second?
Second.
Larry seconds. All in favor, same sign, motion carries. Okay, the next minutes.
On the 25th, Sharon's already handed out corrections of that, and I make a motion that we accept those minutes of the November 25th
With the corrections.
with the corrections.
Okay, do I hear a second? Second. Larry seconds. All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Moving along here.
I think that was it for the minutes.
Okay, Lisa. It says none.
None.
You escaped that one, okay. All right, Mary. I'm not sure you're still employed, but go ahead and give us.
Good morning. We do have our auditors from Big Square Company on through Zoom. We have Mike O'Donnell and Edward Espinosa, who will be presenting the 2019 financials for us.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to go through the audit first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving on to the audit. All right. Whoever has the floor, you have it. Can y'all hear? No? Turn them on, Al, or somebody. Something's not right.
Mike's is. No, Mike's is muted.
Their auditor too, Mike's unmuted, he can talk, Edward needs to unmute his computer.
Edward's muted. Somebody tell Edward he's muted. Mike, tell Edward he's
Mike's
muted.
sitting
There we
there.
go.
There.
They'll be so they're in the same room, so one of them has to stay muted all the time or else you're gonna feedback.
Oh, okay, maybe Mike.
Yeah, can you all hear me?
Sure can,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're in the same room, so we've got Edward muted, or else we get an echo.
Right, so you're good, you're on.
You're on.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Everyone should have a copy of the October 31st, 2019 audit report for the El Paso County Water Improvement District Number 1.
Everybody has one, I think.
Flip over to the table of contents. And we'll run down the list there real quick to kind of give you an idea of what's contained in the report. We've got the independent auditor's report. Then after that follows management's discussion and analysis. Following that are the three financial statements, the statement of net position, the statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in that position, and the statement of cash flows. Following that are the notes to the financial statements. After that is the independent auditor's report on internal control. So if you'll flip the page on page 1, then there you have the independent auditor's report. The first paragraph reads, we have audited the accompanying financial statements of the El Paso County Water Improvement District Number 1, a political subdivision of the state of Texas, as of and for the year ended October 31st, 2019, and the related notes to the financial statements, which collectively comprise the district's basic financial statements as listed in the table of contents. The next paragraph, management's responsibility for the financial statements. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of these financial statements in accordance with accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America. The following paragraph is the auditor's. Hey, Jim Spear, I made this one planet.
Okay, we're listening to the audit report. Hang on. Pay attention.
Under auditor's responsibility, our responsibility is to express opinions on these financial statements based on our audit. We conducted our audit in accordance with auditing standards generally accepted in the United States of America and the standards applicable
applicable financial audits contained in government auditing standards issued by the Comptroller General of the United States. These standards require that we plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement. So on that first page there, basically to sum that up, you've got the what we're referring to is the report on the basic financial statements that we just saw, the three financial statements and the table of contents. Then we have management's responsibilities followed by auditor's responsibilities. And if you'll flip to page 2, we have the auditor opinion. In our opinion, the financial statements referred to above present fairly in all material respects the respective financial position of the district as of October 31st, 2019, and the respective changes in financial position for the year that ended in accordance with the accounting principles generally accepted in the United States of America.
Mike, excuse me a little, you're reading through all this stuff. I think we've had this, and I've read through it. So in the interest of time, it looked to me like a very clean financial report. Did you find anything that needs to be called to our attention? Or does anybody have any
Yes,
questions?
Johnny, I did.
I didn't ask you. Excuse me, just wait a minute. I'm talking to the board, and I'll ask you just a minute. Okay. Did you find anything, Mike, that needs to be, I didn't see anything in the report that was,
I think that's correct. I think everything looked very clean. I should commend Mary and her staff on doing a great job. They provide us everything we asked for. And like you said, I'll repeat what you said, everything is very clean, nothing to note, nothing to point out. We have no real concerns at this point.
Well, that's what I read in the deal, so in the interest of time, does any directors have any questions of any of the pages or any of the reports that you see?
Mike, is this
I have
mayor?
one thing, Johnny, that needs to be.
I'm not talking, Spear, I will give you the opportunity, okay? Let me get to, I'm talking to the director right now. Hang on.
Mike, is this a mirror image of last year's report? I mean, same sequence? Has there been any law changes that we need to know for auditing?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
I said, is this report that we got here a mirror image of last year's? Is it the same sequence? Has there been any changes in the law that we need to know about?
No, the report is basically the same. The only change that you'll see, big change that you'll see from last year's to this year is page 13, the notified pension benefits. That's new this year with the adoption of the new pension plan, and we're required to make all these additional disclosures, which ended up being about 4 pages of disclosures on the pension plan alone. So that'll give you a lot of detailed material. Whether you use it and understand it, it's there for the reading. But basically, yeah, other than that, there's been no major changes since the prior year.
I have a question, Sure. Mike, this was probably answered. Can you hear me okay?
Just barely.
Okay, so this may have already been answered before, but I'm going to ask it again anyways. 2019, end of fiscal year. That's not 2020, but that's a year and a half ago or so. What's the logic? Well, why is it taking a lag of a year and a half to get a report? And it's just my ignorance of that.
You know what? Mary may be able to answer that question better than me.
Okay, because I'm just curious, because 2019 is 2019, and 2020 I would have expected 2020 October. I'm just asking a dumb question, but
No,
I
I thought
gotta
the
ask
same
a question.
question. That's a good question.
Mary?
No, of course, usually we have our financial audit at the beginning of the year, which is the fiscal year ends of October 31st, 2019. And roughly between January and February, we usually have the following year our financial audits. But the time to prepare took a little longer than expected, and then of course the pandemic hit, and trying to reschedule and trying to safety measures and precautions with having outside individuals coming in and auditing. So we had to, with this audit, prepare the documentation and have Edward come and pick up and do their audit at their facility, then coming here. Usually they would come to the offices for a week or two and perform the audit. But this time with the pandemic, there was a lot of rescheduling to do and outside work.
So my question is, how do we get back on track? Or are we gonna get back on track?
Yes.
Am I reading?
No, we will get back on track. I am working on finish closing up on the 2020 and should be having Mike come in the next month or two to do.
Okay, so we should get 2020 in a couple months or something?
Yes, no, it will
Okay.
not.
Okay, so
Yeah,
now
yeah,
it's a little bit more better. Okay, okay.
Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Johnny, I can't hear a thing. I have a very small suggestion.
All right, suggest it now, and we'll give you the opportunity to suggest. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't hear anybody else. All I was going to suggest is the person who is signing the audit report for Big Sur Company needs to put his signature so we know who it is. He didn't put his signature, he just put the corporate name, but he needs to put his signature.
Can you spell your name all right?
Big Sur Company 5, and then say who he is.
Okay. You get that, Mike?
No, I couldn't hear that.
Okay, well, Jim thinks you need to sign this instead of putting Big Sur Company. You need to put your name down there so we know who's responsible for it. Print your name and you sign it, the report.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Spear, is there anything else about the audit?
And just for information for the board,
That's approved, it's not been there all the time, and I think it's been well done. I'm not an accountant, but I did scan through the whole thing, and of course, with Mary's help, it winds up being just well done.
Thanks to Mary, and thanks to our auditors, wasn't it true?
that's a compliment, Mike, from Mr. Spear, which is rare
We gotta
to you.
we gotta put this in the minutes.
Yeah,
That's
but just so,
Mike didn't even get to hear it. All right,
but
guys.
just for information for the board is, you know, we after the audit, we have a certain amount of time that we have to submit a report to TCEQ. So what Mary did is contacted them, sent a formal letter requesting an extension because of COVID. So that's been covered, just so you all will know.
All right, anything
Good
else?
job, Mary. The report
Okay,
came out.
Mike, well, thank you. You guys did a good job, and we appreciate it.
Thank you all very much, we appreciate it too, thank you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, Mary, you're not off yet, just because we went to the last time.
We do have several months, like November, December, and January, that we can go through. Several of our reports do summarize the past 3 months, and we can go to the January if you would like to do so. There
Yeah,
are
in
a
the interest
few-
of time, I think everybody's had an opportunity to look back, so unless you have some questions as to specific months, let's do that.
I do have one there on the quarterly report. Did we already do that, Mary?
No.
Oh, no, we haven't.
No, we have to.
So we'll have to do that too.
We will have to do this one.
That was the one for the end of January.
Want to jump all the way to January?
All the way to January, yeah. In the interest of time, if we get hung up on that, we'll be here all morning.
Johnny, I've got one other suggestion on the board packet. And I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, I just can't hear you, so I don't know what's going on. But I have one suggestion.
All right?
Can I say what it is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on the board packet, we refer to the Public Service Board several times. The Public Service Board is not a freestanding entity. The correct way to do it is to call the city of El Paso. And then if you want to put it right in the city's PSB, you can do that, but you need to have city of El Paso.
All right, your suggestion has been heard and quantified. We'll do whatever, that's just kind of a way we've always done it, and it's, you always tell us the same thing.
Well,
And you're right, nobody's arguing with you.
I've been representing y'all for about 60 years, so it's come up a few times in the past.
But yeah, about 70 times. Okay, all right, Mary, go ahead. Let's go to the January 7th. The first thing that we have is the schedule of investments, right? Is that where we're going, or how do you want to, you do it?
Yes,
However
yes,
you want to do
the scheduled investments. We did have our certificate of deposit matured in the month of January. Our rate for that received is 0.25%. As of yesterday, the treasury bill rates were very low at 0.2, 0.3%. So I am looking at reinvesting. We did receive our payments from El Paso Water and Lower Valley invoices. And we do have $6 million right now as of February in our bank. So we'll be looking into reinvesting. Unfortunately, the rates at this time with the treasury bill are not the greatest.
Yeah.
But they're going up. They see the 30-year finally got 2%. So it's going up.
I don't think we need to go 30 years.
No.
Is that due to good Democrats?
Up the recorders now.
I didn't say that was a good fiscal policy.
I couldn't pass that up.
All right.
That's a correction. For 6 months, we have a 0.04% rate with treasury bill. A 1 year investment is a 0.06%.
Wait a minute, what was that? Point
0.06
of 1%?
No, for a 1 year investment,
Is,
0.06%.
oh, okay.
No,
No,
that's
that is,
6% of 6.
Point.
and that's less than 1%.
Yes.
That's less than
That's
yeah.
one.
1/16 of 1%.
So we let it down to 0.
Or 6/100ths of 1%.
Yeah, that's 100. You mean 0.6 of a percent, right?
That's not even
No,
worth
not
the ink.
0.06.
0.06.
That's not even worth the ink to write that.
0, that's basically 0.
Now, that's the Fed,
Yes,
0.06.
0.06 for a 1
Well, I
year.
hadn't heard of
I guess they don't need any money.
That must be the result of the great Democrats thing.
They don't need any money.
They don't need any, they just print it. You know, heck, 2 trillion,
They don't need any money, they give it all away, they don't need any more. That's right.
Okay, wow, so what are we doing, Mary?
As I always do with the investments, go out for bid with the certificate of deposits, as well as look at the rates now and see if the rates have changed within the next couple of days with the treasury bill as well.
Okay, because you're sitting with, what, about 3 million in the general fund that you
Yes,
would like to park
I would
somewhere.
like to invest, correct.
That's absurd.
Well, those are good problems.
Yeah. Okay.
You just have to keep working, you can do anything about it. Okay. Go ahead, Mary.
The following report is our balance sheet. Our accounts receivable, Mr. Ivy, our accounts 11,600. We have a balance as of January 31st of 2.8 million. The majority of the payments, that invoice has been received this month. So our receivable is at 22,000 roughly.
Okay.
And then we have our net revenue. Do we have any questions?
Any questions on this? You sleep over there, Mr. Ivy?
Ooh, everything looks
They're good.
Looks good. Because we got one of those payments of the third party.
It was
Or is
not,
that the one that was credited?
it was not the third party, implement, it was our, we did receive, yes, sir, I'm sorry.
You got
excuse
that
me,
too,
We did
yeah.
receive our fourth quarter from
Okay.
El Paso Water, along with our tax assessment.
Okay, and you put that, and that, but that's gonna be showing up in this January.
Yes.
Okay. All right. But it's really last year's. Okay. Okay. We got a lot of people paid the taxes and the water assessments.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Can't do any report? Okay, man. $500 check report.
All right off the top there of January, the very first line, it says more installation on 6 John Deere tractors. I assume that's the mowers and labor both?
Yes, that's the labor to install the attachments on the tractor.
Just the labor? Pete? It's 40,800.
No, January.
January,
Sorry.
No, that includes.
that includes the mower,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that includes 2 extra
Okay.
turntables that we ordered,
Right.
to have as spares of, like
Okay.
when one goes down, it'll come in and be switched out, and then that way the tractor can go back out right away.
Okay, I just want to make sure we have got some steel in that, and that wasn't all just labor.
No, it's not.
All right, okay. I was gonna apply to be a John Deere mechanic or something. Two extra tables, true?
Yes. And those were budgeted items. the 2
Yeah.
items.
The Red Wing boots on 33,
Which one is it?
number 33,
You don't remember?
Okay,
is that under the, always calling boots for our employees?
yes, steel toe boots
The
for,
boot procedure.
yes, we do that once a year,
Oh, okay.
and it's also a budgeted item that you all approve.
Number 25, West Bank, it says fuel expense. It's not, I mean, the others are labeled clear diesel.
West Bank is our
What is that?
Avon vendor.
Well, this is for the pickups and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that what it's called? West Bank?
West Bank is the financial institution we use, in order to, fuel our vehicles.
Okay, line 18 and 19, 2 different checks. Why 2 different checks for 8 laptops instead of just,
There were 2 separate invoices.
oh, you got 2 numbers, okay. Almost a penny cheaper. Okay. On line 26, Pitney Bowes says folding machine, $2,068 to fold, I assume the mailing. And then it says lease. Is that a lease? We don't even own that machine? That's a lease?
No, we don't. It is a lease.
Is that a one-time deal to mail out all the tax stuff, or?
Well, it is the one time maintenance fee. So the machine folds, separates, and stuffs and seals.
And stuffs and seals?
Yes, sir. So instead of doing it manually, the machine does it for us.
In other words.
He
it's
saves a
probably
lot
cheap.
of hours, man
Yeah,
hours.
it's probably cheap. Okay.
Do they change in technology every year, or should we just think about purchasing it?
We just got this machine a year ago.
Oh, we bought it?
Yes, sir.
No,
Well, I mean,
it is a lease.
Yes, it's a lease. We
These
just
are
got it.
quarterly payments.
Oh, they quarterly, okay.
Yes.
But they do upgrade every,
They do.
Kind of like a copy machine. They just
yeah,
kinda-
every year it changes. But those used to require 10 to 15
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
employees to come in
yeah,
and
we don't do
fold and all
Yeah, that's
that.
too much, yeah, that's crazy.
This machine's doing it all.
You couldn't be licking envelopes with
No.
COVID.
Oh.
And folds
You're right.
and stuffs
Yes, sir.
and seals.
And we're right now working with the OMR code. It's gonna read the number of pages.
Wow.
So there's statements that have 2 pages, some are 3, 4, 5. Instead of us separating these manually, we're gonna install it because it's called the oil mark code, and she's gonna do that for us also.
And puts on the postage and everything.
Now, the postage, we have another
Oh,
machine
you have
for
another
that.
machine for
Is
that?
that a robot? Is that another name for a robot?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Okay. Wow.
Impressive.
Technology, it's amazing when it works. Okay, here's your legal and consultant fee budget. No questions? Okay, Mary, we gotta do the quarterly investment report, and I can't find it.
It's in December, Mr. Stubbs.
Pardon me?
It's in the December tab.
What's in the December, under December, okay. Right. Which is where it should be. Okay, there it is. Oh, yeah, under item A, item A in December. There's our investment. We have to approve that, so I would indicate, I assume everybody's all right with this, if we're all right with the one in January.
It's under tab D, like in
Tab D, yeah.
D?
D, like in David,
In December?
in December, yes.
I make a motion that we accept the quarterly investment report as presented.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, McGill, seconds motion, been moved and seconded, we approve the fourth quarter investment report. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carried. All right, Mary, as usual, you escaped at this point in the meeting.
Excuse me, Mr. Stubbs, we need a resolution on the audit. We
Again?
need a resolution on the audit. You usually approve the audit.
Yeah, no, I can't
You
understand.
usually approve the
You
audit.
need to
Approve the audit, you're right, I did, we haven't done that, I thought Jim approved it, so we will. Do I hear a motion?
We got excited about Jim. I have moved to approve the audit.
The audit, okay.
I'll second it.
Larry seconds. Okay. We have a motion to approve the audit, been moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Done. Okay, that's all. Item number 8, Rose. Take your mask down, please, because I know I can't understand you with that on. There you
Good
go.
morning.
Good morning.
So I wanted to check with you, if you want to go ahead and, 3 months, we can go to January. But I do
Let's
have
just
tax
move ahead, unless
adjustments.
anybody had any questions, everybody had their packets, so.
I do have tax adjustments and those were for the month of December. And I left on your station on your desk. You got a chance to review that.
Rose, can you speak up?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry,
So
Ruth.
if you have any questions on the adjustments,
On the December adjustment,
sir.
this sheet right here,
Yes, sir.
do we have any questions?
we're looking at $1,668.55.
So you want us to approve those,
Yes, sir, unless you want to go ahead and individually,
get
whichever
that
you
out?
want.
Or, excuse me,
If whatever you want, you want to do it individually or just,
does anybody want to look at it individually? I mean, it's there, you can see what it is.
I'm okay with that.
okay.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve the tax adjustments for December of 2020. McGill makes motion, Larry seconds, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign.
Well, thank you. That's quick.
Took care of that.
Thank you so much.
Okay. No other questions arose, good. Those always gets away easy, I don't understand.
And she was also instructed she needed to keep it short. She broke, Pete's like, oh my gosh, she broke a record.
We're making a record, it's 9:10 o'clock. All right, general manager's report.
On A, I'd like to move that to the closed session, so if you all have any legal questions you'd like to ask in regards to that offer that we have for the Borderland Spur drain. And then the next items are resolutions for grant applications. The first one being the $250 grant application for the engineering feasibility study of the Riverside Regulating Reservoir, our new purchase from the city of El
Our new
Paso.
project.
Yes.
You know,
And it's
it's been a good idea for years and years and years to see that finally happen. We've wanted to do that, and we ran into a lot of roadblocks over the years of being able to get it done, but I always thought that's a tremendous deal to help Robert, just operations. And when you help Robert do his deal, you're gonna save a lot of water. So it's a tremendous deal. It's not a huge amount of water, but at least it can regulate, because when you're 170 miles from the releasing reservoir, there's all the things that can happen in between, and this can kind of help Robert in operations to be able to manage the water better. So I think it's a great deal. I appreciate you guys putting that together, too.
Thank you. And we'll also be able to capture a lot of stormwater that comes off, that works its way into our canal system, and you know how many times we can actually fill it up, and Robert can use that water, and then we can capture more water if there's storms. So it has, like Al had told me once, has the capability of maybe filling up and delivering water 3-4 times a year if the storms are there and if the water is there to capture. It gives us a great opportunity for Robert to regulate the water, and we don't have to use those wasteways going back into the river with some of that stormwater that comes down. So this is a grant application. It would be for $500,000, and our matching would be $250,000. But it would do all the engineering feasibility study that Al would put together.
Yeah, just to clarify that there's about 4/5 of that is we'll be hiring outside engineering firms that need about, and we're using staff to do some of the work too, so we can use in-kind matching. But we have primarily it's environmental studies that have to be done, archaeological and historical. We don't anticipate any problems with those because it's a pre-disturbed site, and then there's quite a bit of geotechnical that we have to do in terms of finishing up the actual designs, the subsurface design, so we don't disturb any contamination.
Okay, any questions, guys? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. We are having, you made the motion, Miguel second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay.
The next one is also a resolution for approval by the board for a grant application. This is a $25,000 grant application that would be utilized. We're now having to do on some of these grants that we receive, we have to do seepage studies in order to comply with the grant approval of the canal and what we just did. Al put together a study on the Riverside, and we used Dr. Chupin to assist us with that. And this would cover some of that. And then this would also cover, Al and Omar have been working on a new drone that we could purchase, where we could do aerial surveys and mapping of our canal system.
Orthomosaic. What is orthomosaic?
Explain that, Al.
That's where where you take like 1,000 small pictures and you make a mosaic, and then you make them orthogonal. The ortho means orthogonal. That means they're rectified to each other so that they match up. So the drone will take, we don't have a problem taking the pictures right now. What we need to add to our capabilities is the ability to do the ortho mosaic, which is, drones are now, just like with the farming, precision farming, they have RTK position, and we'll be adding an RTK base station and the capabilities of the drones so that it knows exactly to a centimeter where it is.
This is something that Al's been wanting to do with our canal system for a long time.
That's good, and then you didn't want a crane, right?
We have a crane now, so
We do. When did that happen?
Very good, the crane's been very useful. In fact, we're mobilizing that next week, right, Pete, or the week after?
Yes, sir.
Project.
Okay, any other questions? I'd entertain a motion to approve our support of that.
I move to approve.
Okay, Miguel makes the motion. George seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion